Hi, welcome to Auntie Nat's Crochet. Thank you for choosing this tutorial video. Do check out my other videos too. If you don't mind, please do subscribe to my channel. The subscribe button is at this corner of the video. I have 100 over videos from crochet to amigurumi, clothes to toys, hats to bags, and lots more to come. So do check it out. And today I'm going to do a sling bag, a small bag. You can call it a handphone bag or a passport bag. It's just a small sling bag, and I'm using this time round. I'm using this PP Spring 4mm yarn. It's called spring because you see it's kind of springy. So this is actually a PP yarn, a polypropylene yarn. Okay, but this one it has some spring to it. Unlike the normal polypropylene yarn, it's kind of tough. So this is a 4mm hook. This is a 4mm yarn. So I'll be using a 6mm hook for this project. Okay, now let's start. Okay, I'm going to make something like this. This is going to be the back panel, and this is the flap. So now I'm going to make a front panel and the sides, and I'll join it onto this back panel. So just grab the yarn. You can use any yarn actually. So this is a 4mm PP yarn. So I'm going to make a knot like this. Since this is such a thick yarn, I'm gonna knot it like this. So after this knot, I'm going to chain, let me see, 18. I'm going to chain 18. Depending on how wide you want your bag to be, I'm going to work here this way up. So here 18 stitches. So I'm not doing this way, I'm doing this way, so that it come out like this with this pattern. It's just a very simple single crochet pattern. So the width is up to you. So now I'm making the foundation chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So once I have 18 stitches, I'm going to work on the bum side. So you see here is the V shape. You turn to the side, you can see this bum here. And you see all this bum here. So I'm going to work on the bum side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, 18. So now I'm going to work on the bum side. I'm going to chain 1. Go to this bum. Oops. And do a single crochet. So I'm going to do single crochet until the end of the row. So if you work on the bum side, you get a very nice V shape at the bottom. So it looks like this. So I'll come back to you once I'm at the end of the row. Yeah, I forgot to mention just now, actually when I chain 1, I go to the bum side. That bum is actually second stitch from the hook. So when you see it's on the hook like this, the second stitch from the hook, 1, 2. And now I've done single crochet all around the whole stretch. So I'm going to hide this when I crochet. Since this is kind of thick and springy, It's kind of easy to hide. Let's hide it here, above here, so that when I do my single crochet, it will hide inside here. Just bring it up. Okay, so now I reach the end. I'll just chain one, turn my work. Don't get confused, this tail, just leave it there. And now the first 6 stitches, I'm going to do single crochet on the back loop. If you look at this V shape here, you see there's one front loop and one back loop. I'm just gonna work on the back loop. And you just use the back loop and do single crochet only on the back loop. So I'll do 6 on the back loop. Six single crochet on the back loop. Make sure you hide this nicely. Hide this tail. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hide one more. You just pull this tail, you make 1 single crochet and you straighten it. It will kind of hide inside later on, so you pull more and you straighten it. It will go inside. So here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 single crochet on the back loop. Now 6 single crochet on the front loop. This is the back, this is the front. Just take the front loop. One, two, 3, 4, 5, 6, and another 6 on the back loop. So you alternate 6 on the front loop, 6 on the back loop, and a certain pattern will appear. Or if you do not want 6, you can do 5 or 3 or 2. But I've tried 2 on the back loop, 2 on the front loop. The pattern, I mean, it doesn't really show. So that's why I'm doing now 6. So it will come out like this. The first 2 rows, you won't see much. Once you have this much, you will see this side here and the middle part here. It's so different, right? Front and the back is the same. So it's kind of like you have 2 different patterns here. So this is the back panel. This is the flap. So now I'm going to make the front panel. So it should not be this long, it should be about 3/4 long. Or the length is up to you, how you want the length to be, how long you want your back to be. So same thing, once you're at the end of the row, you just chain 1, turn your work. Let me show you one more row. You just go to the back loop and do your single crochet. So I'll do 6 of it because I divided this back into 3 parts. I have 18 stitches. So 6 will be on the back loop and 6 will be on the front loop and another 6 will be on the back loop. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is on the back loop and this line will appear here. Then go to the front loop and do 6 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and our back loop again. Or you can even make it like half in the back loop, half in the front loop. It still look nice. At least there's some pattern to it, right? Rather than just plain single crochet all around. So once you come to the end, you make sure you count your stitches. Make sure you have the same number of stitches every row. If not, here will start to shrink. Here will start to shrink, okay? So you make sure every row you have the same number of stitches. So you see here it's kind of like pop up a bit, and this it sink in a bit. So I come back to you once I have the front piece. Okay, I've come to the length that I want. So I'll just measure it here, and this is the flap. I'm gonna close down here. Unless you want the flap to be longer, then the back panel you make it longer. So my bag would be this length. So here the front panel, once you reach the length that you want, now I'm going to chain 2. I'm going to do double crochet on the sides here. You see this all this line here. This row I'm gonna make 1 double crochet, this row 1, this row 1, this row 1, so you won't make extra. So the one that sink in here, 1 only, 1 double crochet. So I just grab one of the yarn, you can grab both, and do a double crochet. And again, yarn over. Now over this side, just grab one of the yarn. Since it's so thick, it's okay, you don't have to grab both of it. And here same thing. So your number of double crochet will be the same as the number of rows here. How many rows you have, that will be your double crochet. So this will be the side of the back. So depending how thick you want your back to be, if you want it to be this thick, it's just 1 double crochet. If you want it to be thicker, then you do another round of double crochet at the bottom, 2 rows, or maybe a single crochet. So depending what's the thickness of your back. So I'll come back to you once I've done from here until here. Okay, I've did one until the end. This is the line. So I did the double crochet at the sides here. So now at the corner, I reach the bottom of the bag. At the corner here, I just continue to double crochet on the back loop. And see all this V shape here. Let's go to the back loop and start to do double crochet on every stitch. Because this yarn, it has some elasticity. It's kind of elastic. So here the corner will look like this. See? It become a very nice corner, and it's kind of elastic, so you can put in things and it expand. So same thing, continue double crochet on the back loop. Do it on every stitch. And once you come to this corner, this side, you do the same here. So you see it will look like a square box. So I come back to you once I do until here. And this is how it look like. I want it to be thicker. I want it to be this way. So I'm gonna do another row of double crochet. This time round, the double crochet is just sitting on top of the previous double crochet. So I'll just chain 2, turn my work, and do double crochet just right on top of the previous double crochet. So now it will be this length, and I will connect this to the other. So once I finish, I'm not gonna cut the yarn. I will leave the yarn to sew it onto the sew it onto the other piece. So okay, the width is gonna look like this. Should I call this the width? The height, sorry. Really? I think so. Okay, so it's gonna be this length so that I can put more stuff inside. As for the back piece, this is the front piece with the sides. This is the front piece, this is the back piece, this is the cover. Depend whether you want to make a cover like this or just like this. And I made another one, just single crochet all around. I'm gonna attach here so that I can, it's kind of like a pocket where I can just put my passport here, and I can put all my other stuff here, so that whenever you take out something from this pouch, your passport won't accidentally drop out, right? I mean, it's just me. You can just leave it like that, but I prefer to make another pocket here. So what I did is I make another piece. This one is just inside, so I'm not going to do any pattern. It's just single crochet all around, single crochet to and fro, sorry. Then later I'm going to attach it here, which is roughly the size of the passport. So here I'm going to do single crochet all around so that it has a bit of a width here, some height, length, whatever. Some space here, sorry. So I'm gonna chain 1, and like the previous, I'm going to do single crochet all around. So this row is 1 row 1 single crochet, this row 1 single crochet, and make sure same like here. You see there's no big holes here, so you make sure when you do the single crochet, depending where you're gonna put your hook. If you're gonna put it here, then after you make the single crochet, you notice there's a big hole there, then you don't use this strand, you use another strand. And you carry on and see if there's gonna be another big hole. So like this, it doesn't, anyway, this is the inside, so it doesn't really matter, right? So I'm just telling you, this is how I do for the other piece, to see if there's a big hole. There's a hole there. So sometimes certain strand that you take to do your single crochet or your double crochet tend to make a big hole. So I'll come back to you and show you how I attach this. So normally if you have cases like this, I will normally take the one at the back, like kind of like the back loop. And later you see here, it will kind of turn like this. automatically, and at least there's a space there when you put your stuff inside here, this pocket. And later I'll use back this strand to connect it to the side here. I'm not gonna glue it. I'm gonna, depending whether I'm gonna sew it or I'm gonna crochet. Maybe I'm gonna sew it. Let's see once I'm done with the whole piece and see whether I should crochet or sew it. So I'll come back to you once I've had this done. So this piece is in the inside, so it doesn't really matter how you're going to do it. Okay, from the corner here, you should do 2 single crochet every time you come to a corner, yeah. And here, the bottom part, I'm going to do just on the back loop. Only on the back loop. So at least it looks like this, it has some height there. See? I love working with this yarn. It's like so easy to manage and very fast because it's thick. See, once it's a bend on its own. Yeah, I'll come back to you once I reach the end of the row. Okay, I've done it all around. I've cut the yarn and I leave some tail for sewing. So now I'm gonna attach it here and sew it onto the back. Let me see. First, before you do anything drastic, just take a look at your back. Which part you want it to be the front. Just in case you have one part that you made a mistake and you want to cover up. Okay. And remember the part where, yeah, this is it. This is the tail from this panel. So I hide it here, so at least you can still see a bit of it. So I'm gonna make sure this is the inside. So I'll place it here and I'm going to sew one by one. I'm gonna sew it here like this. So you're gonna sew once on the back. There's no fixed rule. Just grab one of the stitch. Anyway, this will be the inside. So it doesn't really matter how you're gonna sew it. One's on the inside, one's on the back. One's on the pocket, one's on the back. So I'll come back to you once I have this nicely secured. There's the side here. So you make sure when you sew it is within inside, and leave this part, this corner here, so that you can sew this to the front panel and also the strap. So from the side it looks like this. Okay, I'll come back to you once I have this attached. Okay, I've firmly attached the pocket here. I can put the passport here. I've add one buckle here. It's not visible in front because I sew it, use thread and needle. I sew here, the sides here. And this one, I also sew the buckle here. Now you're gonna close like this. And here, I did 2 rows of double crochet. So you're gonna look like this. Here it will just bend nicely. See, it will bend nicely this way. And now, before I attach it here, I already cut the yarn and leave a long tail. I've cut the yarn and leave a long tail for sewing. So I'm going to sew here stitch by stitch. So before I sew, I will put a marker to hold it first, and then I will have a back. And before all this, I'm going to do the strap. Let's do the back strap first. Okay, now I'm going to do the back strap. I'm going to leave some tail so that I can join it to the back. So okay, let's say from here I just make a knot, turn it this way and pull up yarn. Okay, so I make a knot. So after this knot, I'm going to make a foundation chain of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you have 6 stitches here. I'm going to chain 1, and this is the hook, this is the first stitch, this is the second stitch. Second stitch from the hook, I use the bum side. Oops, sorry. I use the bum side and do single crochet until the end. Okay, you have 6 single crochet here. Then I'm going to chain 1, turn my work. I'm going to do another row of single crochet on both loops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And make sure each row you have the same number of stitches. So you're gonna look like this. So at least this is flat, easier to connect to the back later on. And now the following row, I'm going to chain 1. I'm going to use half double crochet only on the back loop. So from here on, it's gonna be half double crochet only on the back loop. If you do not like this pattern, you can just do single crochet, or you can do double crochet, or even treble crochet. I want it to be thick, so I'm going to use half double crochet. 2, 4, 6. Make sure you have 6 stitches. Chain 1, yarn over, and again on the back loop only. You don't like the back loop only, you can just do like normal on both loops. If you're gonna do it on both loop, you won't get this line here. You won't get a bulging, you won't get this line here like this. So this one is gonna look a bit not flat. It's gonna be like wavy. So same thing, chain 1, turn the work, and half double crochet only on the back loop. And you work until you are satisfied with the length. If that's the line you want, or maybe you can strap it around your body and see if the back will be too long or too short before you really join it to the back. So make sure you count your stitches, because most of the time this is the last stitch we always miss out. Okay, 2, 4, 6. So let let me do 1-2 rows to show you how it will look like. Do you like thick strap like this? I mean, is it too thick for you, or you prefer thin one? And also depending whether you still have the yarn available. If your yarn, if you do not have much yarn left, then might as well don't do too thick, and might as well don't do half double crochet, just single crochet will do. You can do single crochet if you want, but I just want it thick so it will come out like this. You see the lines? Okay, so I'll come back to you once I have the length that I want. Okay, now I've come to the length that I want. So now I'm going to do 2 rows of just single crochet. Just normal chain 1. This time round you don't have to use the back loop, you use both loops. Make sure every row you have the same number of stitches. Chain 1, turn the work, another row of single crochet. And then I cut the yarn and leave this so that I can sew this on to the back. Okay, now I want to sew this part onto here first, the front panel, the front panel here, the sides here. I want at least 1 inch inside the back. I just sew here, and here, this hole here, I'm gonna sew it together with this when I attach to the back panel. So now I just sew around here. Just go through all these stitches. At least it's half secured. And the other half would be here when I sew this and this to the back panel. And just simply grab one of the yarn here because it's very thick and springy, so it's kind of secure. You want, you can make a few more rounds. Just pick up any one of these so that it won't show in the front. And since I have some more yarn, I can do a few rounds. Since this will be on the inside, it doesn't really matter how you're gonna sew it. It doesn't really show. And this time round, you make sure you pick up a different stitch. And you do the same to the other corner, the other end, you do the same here. Attach it here. But before you attach, you make sure the whole back strap is on the right way, not twisted, unless you like it to be twisted. But this is kind of thick. If it's twisted, it's not comfortable to be on your body, right? Okay. So I'm going to sew this here, and I'm also going to sew this side. And I'll come back to you and I'll show you how I'm going to attach this to the main back. Okay, now place the back like this and use marker, because while I'm sewing here could run a bit. So it's best that you add some marker here so that this part won't run when I'm doing here, because this side is gonna be a bit thick when I join this to this and this. So this part here is going to be quite thick and it might run a bit, so it's best that you connect it nicely, and the front you close it nicely with the magnetic hook. Mine is a magnetic lock, sorry. You can use any other lock if you have, and you see if this is the proper way, and go find that line there. Which line should you start to sew? So I've left quite a long tail to sew this. So I'll come back to you once I've attached this nicely. So here, the first stitch here, because this is the single crochet, right? So it's best that I make one more stitch here to kind of lock it first. Okay, to kind of lock it, then I'm going to go to the other side. So it's gonna go up and down. There's no fixed rules to this, as long as you see that it looks neat, and that's it. So I'll come back to you once I have this nicely attached. Okay, this is how the final product look like. This is the lock. Oops, I can't see. Right. Okay, this is the lock. This is the strap. The strap is at the side. It's not on top. You can do it on top, but I want it to be on the side. And this is how the back look like. And this is the front. And this is the side. And you can't see the stitches. And the strap is long enough. It's the length that I want. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next post.